month of February is just jam-packed with new games, and in about a week from now, or mostly in 2 weeks, we're gonna have hands on some of the biggest and most anticipated games of 2025 that we've frequently actually talked about on the channel. In the meantime, here's over 20 new games you should definitely check out this week. So first of all, Game of Thrones Kingsroad just dropped some incredible sneak peeks and the hype is real. In this mobile RPG, you'll face off against some of the fiercest creatures from the Westeros TV show, including the dragon himself. But that is just basically the beginning. The game seems to be having some really incredible battles in the Altar of Memories mode, where you and your friends can team up to take down bosses straight out of a Song of Ice and Fire. Plus, your journey is entirely your own, based on your own choices. If you're a fan of Game of Thrones universe, this one's definitely worth keeping an eye on.
Dear Diary.
That being said, I Am Your Beast is one of those games that just hooks you right from the start, especially if you love action and a solid revenge story. In this game, you play as a secret agent who's had enough of the whole one last job thing, and after saying no one too many times, you find yourself in a full-blown guerrilla war with the military-industrial complex. Yeah, it's as insane as it sounds. But what really makes this game stand out is how it plays, not to mention the super slick comic book style, plus the whole campaign is fully voiced. At number 3, we've got I Am a Cat, which basically puts you in the paws of a cat, letting you explore the world from a feline perspective. Sounds fun? It mostly is. The game's got plenty of charm with its unique concept and playful vibe, but the controls might drive you a little crazy. You're supposed to move like a cat, but the realism can make it tricky, especially if you don't have the space to just wave your arm around. Though once you get the hang of things, there's loads to enjoy in this game, like unlocking new levels without having to buy them. It's pretty cute, quirky, and worth giving a try if you can deal with a few control quirks. Coming up behind that at number 4, we have I Am Security, basically from the same developers and is available on Android and iOS. Basically from the same developers and is available only on Android, not to mention still in the making for PC and VR headsets. So basically, this game puts you in the shoes of a security guard as you patrol and handle everything. The game gives a fun twist to simulation, but like many mobile games, the ads can get in the way of fun a little bit. Lots of people's feedback has been to the VR headset version, but wish there were more features and less interruptions, especially when it comes to renting items through the ads. This one's gameplay has room for some improvement, like fixing the bugs and adding more tools, but overall this game is packed with potential. If you're into quirky simulations, this one's definitely worth checking out. Coming up behind that at number 5, there is Ultra Realistic Siege Simulator, which basically brings the thrill of large-scale battles right into your mobile. This game stands with its physics-based combat where you command archers to cavalry, all while devising the best strategy. You're gonna need to craft and use siege equipment like catapults, and the coolest part though is that the game lets you slow down for tactical decisions, and each soldier has its own AI, which adds a dynamic feel to every single encounter. It's basically a grand battlefield experience that keeps you coming back for more. Plus, those soldiers are surprisingly cute, and despite the intense combat. Coming right up at number 6, we've got The King of Souls, and man, this game seriously hooks you in. You're not just thrown into random battles here, there is actual strategy involved. You're building the squad made up of heroes from mythology and folklore, and the cool part is how you can mix and match these classes and elements, which really makes you think about your approach. There's a whole dispatch system, a clan system, which is super fun, working with others to take down the bosses. Honestly, if you're into turn-based RPGs with depth, this is in spades. If you are craving the thrill of the slopes but prefer staying cozy at home, Ground Mountain Adventure 2 might just be the perfect escape. Now available on Android and iOS for free, also ranked as the #1 sport game of the month since yesterday, which is more than amazing here. For those of you looking for adrenaline, there's plenty of ski jumps here, downhill racing and even paragliding, plus you can try ziplining or show off stunts and combos. There's some dope realistic avalanches to witness in this game, weather effect hazards. Honestly, this game truly captures the magic of the mountains. Tribe 9 is now available for pre-download ahead of its official launch on the 20th of this month, which is basically tomorrow, and it's legitimately fire as it is. This game is an action RPG which is set in a dystopian world of Tokyo with a life or death twist and this Dragon-Rampa-esque visuals. The combats are in this 3-person style, a deep narrative here. It has a linear pace with optional minigames and quests, giving you a bit of freedom of choice. Tribe 9 is a free-to-play game with in-app purchases and it's available now on Android and iOS for free.
You'll find a bunch of additions, including curses, weapons, mutagens, and more.
At number 9, I would like to give a quick shout out to the Dead Cells, which has actually reached the end of its content updates with the release of the Clean Cut and the End is Near updates. These final editions mark the continuous updates since this game's 2018 original release. You can now enjoy 4 new weapons, plus a couple of new modes like speedrunning and DIY. There's new gear, new enemy types, and an abundance of content and quality of life improvements. If you are a newcomer here, first of all, this is a paid game, it'll take you about $4. All things considered, there's no better time to jump in. This is an offline game and also plays with a controller. With that being said, City Dynasty is hands down one of the most fun streetfall games we've ever seen on mobile. It throws you right into the action where even NBA legends like Kevin Durant and Steph Curry hit the court in street clothes, playing 5v5 matches full of attitude and style. It's not only about dunking though, this game, it's about the whole street ball vibe. You can customize your player, pick your team colors and show off all kinds of skills, plus the graphics are top notch and this 11-point match system keeps things really exciting. Honestly, if this game ever makes it to PC, it'll be a blast. If you love basketball, you've got to try this. If you've been on the lookout for a hunting game that lets you experience the wild from the comfort of your phone, Way of the Hunter Wild America might just be what you want. Although it's still on the way for Android and iOS, it is set to launch this month. In fact, this mobile version of THQ Nordic's Way of the Hunter, which originally hit PC and consoles, promises an expansive 55 square mile terrain roam with realistic wildlife to just track and hunt. The hunting genre is definitely niche, we all know that, but with mobile becoming more popular for casual gaming, this could definitely attract fans who don't necessarily have a console or a PC. On the other hand, at number 12, we've got Be Brave Barb, actually shaping up to be the cutest platformers you never know you need it. This game is developed by the same team who made all the famous Dadish games. This new project here is a blend of gravity-based challenges and self-confidence building. Now, on March 12th, Barb will be bouncing on iOS and Android, Steam, and even the Nintendo Switch, offering a very unique adventure through over 100 levels of self-discovery. You can grab it for free on mobile with ads, or on consoles and PC, it'll cost you $15. It looks like a perfect pick-me-up. If you're reaching to throw some virtual punches and climb your way to the boxing glory, Ultimate Boxing Champion is where it's all at. Not only it delivers a solid boxing experience, but the graphics are pretty much impressive, and you can feel every punch yourself. They pretty much nail the whole in the ring vibe with physics and dynamic gameplay here, and what's cool is that there are 2 different game modes here, Brawling and Ultimate, with classic boxing promised for future updates, including a multiplayer, a female division, AI fights, and much more. This is a free-to-play game playable online and it's available only on Androids right now.
This road is off limits.
Moving on to number 14, we've got Enigma of Sépia, which is actually one of the few gacha games that really pulls you in, especially if you're into RPGs with a heavy dose of lore and strategy. So basically, you're this traveler and your main mission is to stop this Sépia, which is this once beautiful goddess turned void queen, from literally draining the life out of the universe. Visually, the game is a total treat. and you can tell they put in a lot of work here, which is basically over 3 years of development. So besides that, it's not just a skip the battles kind of game, it's one you actually want to watch unfold. If you're a fan of gacha games or just love diving into RPGs, Enigma of Sépia has got you covered. Does any of you here remember Songs of Conquest, the strategy game that caught our attention just months ago? It's finally coming to Android and iOS, and the wait is almost over. After a solid run on PC, this game is set to hit iOS and Android on March 13, and if you're as hyped as I am, you can pre-order it now as well, which obviously comes with its own bonuses. I mean, Sons of Conquest really channels those 90s strategy vibes, and if you're a fan of turn-based combat or Heroes of Might and Magic, it'll hit basically all the right notes and even more. This game promises a deep tactical experience with a mix of magic, strategy, and army customization, and there's a lot to dig in. It'll cost you $12 when it launches, and it probably well worth the price. Anyway, number 16, well, if you missed Positions since its Apple Arcade days, you're in luck because it's finally making its way to Android and iOS in a week. This is a minimalistic puzzle game which is basically all about shifting your perspective. Literally. You'll find yourself rotating dioramas of a family's positions, with each puzzle unraveling a small piece of the story. It's one of those rare, wordless experiences that really speaks for itself, without needing dialogues to move the narrative forward. Positions is offering a try before you buy model on iOS, and a free with ads option on Android. Pre-registration is now open, and to sweeten the deal, there's actually a 20% discount for pre-order. So, TDZX Traffic Driving Zone is basically one of those racing games that really makes you feel like you're behind the wheel, zooming through the streets and open roads. I mean, if you're into car games, this is pretty much everything you want in a racing game. Specifically, if you're looking for that multiplayer action with friends, there is a ton of customization here, which is always a win. Over 50 cars to pick from, and the attention to detail with the visuals really brings the environment to life. Definitely want to check out, it's got something for everyone, from casual races to hardcore players. It's a hidden gem.
This ensures your team stays safe, shares loot fairly, and maximizes experience gains.
Ranked as the #1 game on mobiles in this month, Ragnarok M Classic is one of those games that really takes you back to the good old days of RPGs, but with a modern twist. If you've ever played the original Ragnarok online, this mobile version here totally nails that vibe. No shops, just pure gameplay. Everything is earned through playing the game. No pay-to-win nonsense here, just the way it should be. One thing I absolutely love is the offline battle mode here, which you don't even have to be online to progress. So to sum it up, Ragnarok M Classic is bringing all the classic RO feels, but with all the perks of mobile convenience. What a gem. Coming right up at number 19, we've got Bulletstorm Zombie Waves, which puts you in the thick of a zombie apocalypse, where the only way out is through relentless waves of the undead. Well, this is a first-person shooter and a survival game which gives you full control, allowing you to wield multiple guns at once, and whether you prefer sniping from afar or blasting away with shotguns, it's basically got it all. There's over 50 unique firearms and heroes with special abilities here. Every battle feels almost fresh if you try different things. Roguelike elements and unpredictability, while idle gameplay options let you manage your survival squad even when you're not actively playing. This is a pretty good game, it's only 150 megabytes in total. At number 20, Fishing Friends Ultimate Catch here is a pretty immersive fishing game where you feel like you're really out on the water yourself. The environments are gorgeous and it's fun watching fish swim in real time before you reel them in. You get to level up your rods, customize your setup, and take on some legendary fish as well. There's always something to do here in this game, and whether if it's relaxing by the shore, joining the tournaments, or teaming up with friends in clubs, not only a good game, but also the new work of the creators of the Fishing Club 3D, which is one of the most downloaded games ever. It's free, offline, and very addicting. Number 21, we've got Whittle Screw Jam, Knots and Bolts. I mean, there's a few of these games. There are some noteworthy competitors out there for this game, but overall it's just a simple puzzle game that's both relaxing and addictive. I mean, it's basically all about screwing the right bolts into place which might sound simple, but there's a lot of strategy in just figuring it all out. The content and gameplay, which is pretty satisfying, really does pull you in, plus it's refreshing to play a game that doesn't bombard you with ads every minute, making it stand out in the sea of other mobile games. So sure, it can feel like a digital fidget toy at times of a game, but if you're in the mood for something chill yet engaging, it's a solid pick. And last but not least, we've got the face horror. And it basically puts you in the shoes of a girl who wakes up at 1 AM alone in her house during a blackout. So it's basically a survival game here, rather short, and you're only armed with your phone's flashlight, facing this terrifying otherworldly entity that preys on fear. So your job here is basically to piece together some clues in the house and its neighborhood, and hopefully get out of this mess. There's a lot of jump scares and lots of fun. It's a free game, roughly 300 megabytes in size, and really does pack a punch in a few scenes. You know what I mean.